increasingly what you're seeing is businesses taking or making this a big part of the agenda, at least big businesses, and recognizing that if you're going to take a long-term view towards business, then that adjusts your outlook in terms of greed and everything else. So we talked earlier about instant gratification, but if you take a longer-term horizon, you tend to do it with the right moral decisions behind it. And I think if one were to look at corruption in this part of the world or across emerging markets, or let's say the Arab world specifically, I think you need to see it in the broader context, if you look at it in a business sense, and why it makes sense to be responsible as a business. And it's not just about corruption, it's about transparency, it's about good governance, it's about being a responsible corporate citizen, and not because it's flavor of the month to say so, but it makes for good business and is a good risk management tool. And I think, just touching on some of the themes on why that makes sense, if we look at one of the biggest challenges around this part of the world specifically, it's around creating jobs for youth. And to create jobs for youth, you need to encourage economic growth. To encourage economic growth, you need investment, but you also need inclusive investment and inclusive economic growth on a level playing field. To the extent that there's corruption, there's not going to be a level playing field. So what you do is you stifle entrepreneurship, you stifle innovation, and you end up with the kind of disparities that you sometimes see. So if you want robust economic growth, it's not about posting 7%, 6%, or 5%. It's about the quality of that underlying growth. Who is participating from that society, from that economy, and that growth? Is it inclusive? Does it trickle down? Is it not diversified, so it's not dependent purely on resources? And to that extent, you can take the entire society forward. So I think those are really the underlying drivers.